Hey, do you want to kick it, honey? Huh? What are you doing, hon? What are you doing there, huh, little baby? Huh? What are you doing? Let's kick it. Kick the jams. Oh, yeah, I'm tired. Hey, how you doing? Tired. What happened? Get back out of here. Let's just kick it. Oh, somebody's truck broke down. Let's just kick it. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? I see you. How's that knee doing? Kicking it? Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's Tom Reed, TOMREED 1956 at gmail.com. Tom Reed 1956 at gmail.com. If you wait a second, I can type it in if you didn't hear me. Just be kicking it, know what I'm saying? Tom Reed 1956 at gmail.com. Hey Stephanie, how you doing today? Oh, kicking it. Oh, good for you. Man, I've been tired as hell. Went to bed last night. Got 8 hours. Couldn't get out of bed this morning. Hope I feel like I'm not sick, but I don't know, that driving. I cut the neighbor's yard. It was hot. Not sure what's what. But I ain't kicking it as good as I should. I went up and got a coffee. Hey Blue, how you doing? I just drug my ass out of bed at 11. McMinnville. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been there before. McMinnville. Yep. Been kicking it, know what I'm saying? vultures up there flying high. Yeah, well, I really fucked up the other night. I stayed up all night damn near on a chat. And then that's kind of what got it started. And then yesterday, my neighbor's wife died a while back. His dog, he ran over his dog accidentally. And he used to keep like meticulous care of his property. We're not like visiting kind of people. We don't want people stopping by and that shit. But the house used to be nice. He used to carry a bucket of water out every day and water these flowers. And after the wife died, the place just went to hell. So, I was in the mood yesterday. And I went over and he hasn't been cutting his grass for like ever. So I went over and asked him if I could cut it yesterday. It took forever. And it got hot and it wasn't hot when I started. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just got a coffee. Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably depressed. But I don't know for sure. You don't know. He's a nice guy. I don't talk to him too much. I barely know him. I met his wife right before she died. And he is cutting back around the house, but he didn't cut around like the front. Like, there's a lot. It took me 4 hours. It's no big deal. It's not a rider mower. But that could be it. Plus, I didn't wear my mask when I was cutting the grass. That could be it too. But not really, because I was tired before that. Yeah, he ran over his dog. Can you believe that? Just a freak accident. He drives like 15 miles an hour, and he was going to the store. And it just so happened, you know how sometimes when you're going down a dirt road, it'll like a washboard and it'll like kind of go sideways for a second? It just kind of happened like that for like a second. He said it happened in 2 seconds. The dog jumped out. He was hitting the brakes, but had enough time to fall out, run underneath, and get crushed by the back tire. Oh, okay, baby kitty. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I felt terrible, man. He lives like in a. I don't really like know him that well. One day he like begged me to come over, kind of, and that's how I met his wife. And I stayed over there about an hour and a half. I think he's got a drinking problem. Not that that's neither here than there. The wife did too. And I think if I had to guess, my dad was like that. Just drank himself to death. He just, every time I see him, which isn't that much, he's about 24 pack. No, people are like that, baby kitty. Yeah, they are. Why, I can't tell you. Yeah, if you can email me, I could post something for you. Well, people are crazy, man. They are nuts. All you got to do is start a YouTube channel to find out. I don't know if it's hard to keep track of like people leave messages. Somebody's made a nice post yesterday about my videos, and they want me to go do them like I did them in Detroit and blah blah blah. And they recognized how YouTube's changed. With me, it's not too much of an issue. I mean, I never really, went on it like starting to like thinking I was going to make money or meet a bunch of people. It just kind of happened. So I don't get that annoyed by them not supporting me like they used to. They can make you or break you. I've read several articles on that. Since there was no agenda, how upset can you be? I mean, you may not agree with it, but at least it's consistent. Yeah, if you want to see like animals and work, these vultures around here, it's really incredible how they just have that behavior canned in them, and they're so good at it. They get around the eggs, they scoot their feet around the ground instead of step, so they don't step on it accidentally. It's just stuff like that. Move it around with their beak. And Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was him the other night. It's a pleasure to get rid of him. I'm still smiling. I tried to get some interviews last night, even though I was tired. I was there, and I went to that damn Greek place I like. They were putting in an air conditioner, so you couldn't eat inside. So I had to eat it in my car, which is a mistake. It's this big ass gyro. I had to spray and wash all over my pants and shirt. I tried eating it slowly. And there was a lady I talked to, nice lady. She came, and I felt bad for her. And I saw her sit on the curb, like near the chicken place. Chicken, what's the name of that religious outfit owns that chicken outfit? Chick-fil-A. And I went up to her after I ate my sandwich and I said, "Hey, you homeless?" She said, "I am, just temporary." I said, "Hey, would you be interested in an interview?" And she said, "No, I don't like being on camera." We talked for a little while. And then there's a real crackdown on the homeless in Augusta. And I really didn't see too many, but I can't say it's because of that. That happens sometimes, but I know they're really on them. And I noticed there wasn't a bunch of stuff laying around under the bridge, so it's hard to say. The Chick-fil-A, yeah. Yeah, whack job is right. Yeah, I've eaten at them. I don't really get it, to tell you the truth. The only thing I can say for, it's a big Christian outfit, and they're closed on Sundays, and they got probably a pretty good following because of that. And they say they never mess up your order, and it does kind of seem like a cut above when you're there. They don't have a tattoo on their forehead, but to me, it's just a fried chicken sandwich. I didn't really get anything that I thought was exceptional. I'm so sick of chicken. That's why I drove 54 miles to get a good sandwich last night. I don't want a frozen pizza. I don't want any more fried chicken. I'm just sick of what's around here. And you never know. I could have got lucky on some interviews or something like that. I do have a Mexican tape measure, though, that I'm going to get back. Brand new 35-foot Mexican tape measure. It's one of these subcontractors. I think it's the framers. And the guy told me they were going to be there Tuesday, but it wasn't the framers. It was the guys putting on the outside siding. So I got to find these framers. This thing probably costs $40. It is pronounced gyro. That's one way of pronouncing it. Gyros. That's the way he says it. It's like anything. It's like tinnitus, ringing in the ears. Tinnitus, tinnitus, two big tits and a tuss. Fucking pronounce it however I feel like it. Fucking gyrocopter. That's how I usually order them, just to piss everybody off. I say gyrocopter. They say, "What are you? What?" It's like, "I want a gyrocopter." I just slaughter it as good as possible. I said, that thing with pita bread and sliced meat. I'm not saying fucking gyro. Yeah, gyro. Fuck her too. Yeah, I've known 3 places in my life where you could get fresh gyros, gyrocopters. One was in Ann Arbor. They sold out because their liquor license. One was in Detroit, Greektown. They went out of business. And this one right here, this is actually a Turkish restaurant. That I love the lady that works there. She reminds me of Olive Oil in the cartoon. She kind of looks like her. She's Turkish. She's just the nicest woman, very well spoken, super refined. I listen to her interaction with customers when I'm in there. She's really a bright lady. I'd love to quiz her more how she ended up here. She's worked there 3.5 years, and the restaurant's been there 9. So I'm not sure if she's tied to owning it. I kind of think she is, but I don't know that for sure. I hear somebody walking around. I'm going to get out in the cool day. I see her. She lives in that Section 8 housing right there. She always waves. So the house is going along good. I got to get up and clean out that place in Michigan. I'm going to be doing that soon. Marty's buying this huge collection of petrified wood. I've been doing a lot of reading on petrified wood. Like 150,000 pounds of it. Yeah, Shelley Duvall. Yeah, she looks like that. Only like a European version. You know, like kind of Polish, Croatian. You know that you have that like kind of distinctive look, like Israeli Jewish women. You know, kind of like a look. Those Israeli Jewish women, they used to vacation a lot and have relatives in Chicago. Just like as a group of people, I'm generalizing, but really beautiful women. Like Sarah Silverman looking. Yeah, played in the puppet. Yeah, she reminds me of her. Real like probably weighs like 90 pounds. She's always like, you know, meticulously groomed and always very polite. And she always gives me like a little extra gift, like a baklava. Or last night it was some kind of Turkish candies. She's a nice lady. Yeah, today I think I'm gonna put together that beehive. Hope I get my sleeping thing. I was so tired last night. I wanted to do a live. I went to bed at 10 again last night too. Got up at 1, messed around on the internet for an hour on my phone, and then slept till 11. Yeah, olive oil. It's only like 84 today. It's nice. There is something about that getting acclimated to the temperature because it feels like almost chilly to me today because I'm used to being broiled. Those were fun chats we had. Just kicking it. So I think I might end up going. It's actually Holden, Arizona. If you look out there, that's where a lot of that petrified wood is. Holden, Arizona. 1,730 miles. 24 hours of driving. I'm gonna see if there's any strip clubs out there. It's getting to the point now where I'd feel like almost like out of place in a strip club. Like I was lost or something. Oh yeah, that's kind of iffy. There's a couple reasons. Long story short, it's a big collection, huge collection, like really good stuff. Actually, it's two collections, about $1 million worth. It'd be 8 semi-truckloads, full logs. Like some of them weigh like 10 tons. No, is it 10 tons? No, I think 5 tons. And my job to go out there would be, I don't know anything about it. I'll go out there, yup, looks like petrified wood. I remember it as a school kid and turn around and come back. There's a couple people involved with the sale of this that they want to make sure a bunch of it doesn't come missing. That's kind of like my role. It's not definite. Yeah, I'm in Crawfordville, Georgia. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know they had a county bus. Somebody told me they just changed the law and you can ride these golf carts on the road, which I'd like to see the law. I find that hard to believe. Because even though I like the idea of it, you know, they're not. There's a vulture right there. It's a turkey vulture though, not a black vulture. But you know, they don't have turn signals, seat belts. So you know, I kind of get why You shouldn't. Oh, good for you. How'd the plane ride go out there? Good? It's a nice smooth ride. I haven't seen any snakes. They're getting over the prime time too. Not even dead ones on the road. I mean, part of the reason for that is people kill them all, which is nuts. I mean, I'm sure when one sinks his fangs into me, I wish I want to kill it too. It's. Oh, I hear a train, which is rare. I hear that train whistle blowing. Oh, have you? Yeah, you're right, Blue. It is. You're going slow, and I wish we did have more trains. Nothing like that place in Wauseon, Ohio. And that's a great place. They're just hauling ass every like 30 minutes. I did see that one the other day. I took a little video of. Did you notice the guy? I might not have been videotaping there. You know, here it's different. Like you go up to a train. It's like this in. Oh, speaking of Havre, Montana, I spent time out there too. I saw that's where that little girl turned herself in Havre, Montana. And I know another girl that got caught with 18 pounds of marijuana on an Amtrak train. Ended up beating it in federal court, illegal search and seizure. She didn't consent to the search. That's where I interviewed that Charlie, that farmer. That'll be 3 years this September. I was in the Astro van too. Good old days. Oh, the 14th. Oh, okay. Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah, I agree. Time flies. I'll be dead in no time. Hopefully I get my place decorated. I think that too. Yeah, it really does. I'm reading this book on females. You know, female everything. It's really good, man. This lady is just such an excellent journalist. A couple things I learned, like one thing is on, you know, that sex is considered the anatomy, the physical attributes, something you would identify, and gender is cultural. And flies, they have these super tiny hairs all over their head, and when you go to swat them, they sense pressure. That's why it's hard to swat a fly. That's because of why. I didn't know that. They talk about females being dominant in some species, bees, ground moles, hyenas, and changes that still puzzle evolutionary science, like a egg-laying mammal like the platypus that has a stinger. It's crazy, man. Armadillos that always have identical twins for babies. Yeah, that was a good time, Charlie. Great guy. It's dry farming out there, not much water. I gotta start the van truck. Charlie, Casey's getting hot. There you go, hon. Yeah, turn the cool air on you. Time flies. Boy George, time. I kind of like the look of uncut fields. Look at that, somebody stuck a flag right in the side of the telephone pole about 10 feet up. How's your weather out there, Blue? Yeah, we'll go out there and party. Green grasses of Crawfordville. Oh, 80s. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we had a little rain this morning, not much. Anything that grows down here just grows like hell, just like Florida. And if you water it, God, you're going to have like 10-foot tall current daffodils. Yeah, good old morning showers. Yeah, there's a lot of dry places all over the country. Yeah. Wanted to get another video of the stars at night. Somebody sent me an email. You know, I have that one GoPro camera that's got a star tracking setting on it. And what it does, you see the stars that are going in a curve. It looks fake, but it's real. And it takes like a ton of time-lapse shots to come up with like 2 minutes of that. It takes like 8 hours of recording. It's like thousands of shots. But no matter what you believe, if you take that same camera and you turn it straight up or sideways, there's no doubt about it, the earth is round. The camera's not lying, it's not manipulating anything. One thing that's good is these weeds, they only grow a certain height, and then they quit. If they kept growing like there was no limit to their height, they'd be like taller than trees. I don't know what you'd do. You'd never it'd be so hard to clear property. Oklahoma, the Dust Bowl. Tornado Alley. I want to look at these like proposed hurricane models. You know, they had a ton more tornadoes this spring than they normally do. You know, it's this warming trend. I just wonder how that's going to affect Tornado Alley. I wonder if it's going to make it worse or better. You know, it's like a lot has to come together for a tornado. And maybe it's too warm in that area where the air meets. You know, they'll have less. I don't know. Yeah, it's 80 here, 80 degrees here. But you know, traditionally, like in the normal days, you know, it'd be hot down here always summer, and then like hot in Michigan and Iowa, Illinois, but not like Georgia hot for extended periods of time. That's where I notice the difference. And no matter what you think, just look up those Apelio crabs, the queen crab, the king crabs too. These crabs are like gone. It's ruining the entire economy in Alaska and the fisheries. These people are screwed, man. It's like there's no babies. They don't know what the hell to do. Oh yeah, that is nice, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. See, there's a truck with trees. They use that, you know, this is big paper industry. It's pulp. They use that for pulpwood. As it turns out, you can recycle pulp about wood about 4 times. And then it breaks down. They use it for something else. But that's what they're doing. And then they have some, of course, they make boards out of, and plywood and all that kind of stuff. That thing there, you'd think it's a tanker that's got some kind of liquid in it. It's probably got chicken feed, believe it or not. Almost all the trucks that come in and out of there are round like a milk tanker or a gas tanker, but it's actually chicken feed. That's like a new plant. It's only 3 years old. They can mix 12 tons of chicken feed at a time. Medicated too if they have to. Just be chicken feed. I'm starting to feel a lot better. I think I got my sleep cycle back. I gotta be more disciplined to that. Let's kick it. I'll take you a tour around Crawfordville real quick. Y'all come back now, you hear? Y'all come back now, you hear? This is a different life down here. But I like it. I needed a good change. I get my Asian mail order bride. I'll be able to tell all the older women if they're my good friend or not. If they, you know, send a little wedding gift and nice card, Tom. I'm so happy to see you with that 18-year-old beautiful Asian woman. I hope you guys are having sex 3 or 4 times a day. Or they just clam up. It's like, think I'm an old pervert and they never knew I'd stoop that low. It'll be a hell of a good test. Y'all come back now, you hear? Hey, Mark. Hey, get rid of that cocksucker that says it's Mark Kropka's crotch or some shit. You know, when I'm driving, I can't see that. You know, I miss shit for a lot of reasons. Blind, looking at the road instead of the screen, you know, logical stuff. Just ban those fuckers when you see them. This place used to be the only place in town, but since that new 24-hour gas station, it really put a crimp to their business. You'll come back now, you hear? Mark's neck's been sore. Hey, you said you were going to do a live last night. I went on there and looked. I didn't see it. Unless I missed it and it was processing. You all come back now, you hear? You all come back now, you hear? Andy and Mayberry, one bullet in the gun. Look at some of the decorations on these houses. Old aluminum window awnings. It's the old days. Oh, you know what I should do? Go check out the church. See if they painted it again. Say my prayers. You see a lot of old, like, Caprices down here. Olds, 98s. I'll go check out the church. Say a prayer for you, Blue. I got an email from Penny last night. She's been a little down the dumps. You know her son died. They had the fires out there too. Big fires. Now check out the architecture here. Yeah, anytime. Check out the architecture, the old Southern home style. See, right here's an old Cadillac. I know I said it before, but the African Americans down here, it's so different. People are mad when you say that. It's like, well, what do you mean it's so different? It's like African Americans are, you know how this stuff is. You can't win. It's like a total hot potato now. Well, I'll tell you the difference. I'd move into Section 8 housing in a heartbeat. Really, it's not kept, no cops getting called. It's just so different than that culture where I'm from, in Chicago. Why? I don't know. You'd think if anybody'd be pissed off and you were African American, it'd be down south. That's an old A&P store right there. But it's really nice. I don't know if there's any difference at all. None. If I pulled over right now, you know, broke down, I'd have mostly African Americans pull over to try to help. I mean, that's how you'd like it to be, and that's how it is down here. It's so weird. You don't see any of that crazy shit. We don't have too many drugs down here. Look at this house, like, straight ahead. I photographed this when I came down to visit this place a couple years ago. Like, look at these houses. Crown Royal in the front yard. Crown Victoria, I mean. I mean, you can have like a car down low, neon in the wheel wells, radios like normal, volume. Old lady park right next to them, they'll be talking in the parking lot. I mean, it's sweet, really. You just won't believe the difference down here. You know, if I didn't have a problem with killing cattle, I'd have some cattle. I like just looking at them, seeing them in the walking around the field. You know, 100 people die a year from domestic cattle, protecting their babies, cornering a person in a pen. You just come on, you'll come back now, you know? You know what I don't like around here though is it's getting where, there's a lot of poverty around here, right? And it's getting, I know you're going to laugh about this. Well, you might not. I'm thinking about building some Section 8 housing. It's not like it is in Detroit, in Chicago. Because I just know too many of these clerks and stuff at these places that don't have a place to live within driving distance. And they also need a laundry facility. People have to drive here, like at the minimum 13 miles, at the max 30 to do their laundry. I just think it'd be a good gesture to like pay back for being lucky. Now this guy right here walking, he's another local alcoholic, and I've helped him out before. But to be honest with you, he's just such a pain in the fucking ass. Oh, that's not him. That's a farmer, actually. That's not. Hey, you guys, get your Mega Millions tomorrow night. I think it's 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. I hope this doesn't buffer. I don't think it does. If it does, I'll take a little video of it, upload it when I get home. See, now this is I-20. This is only 3 miles from me. I can get right on 20 and get out of Dodge. It's a total racetrack. It's the craziest shit you'll ever see in your life is on I-20. All day, all night. It's not like a normal expressway. You'll see like the weirdest shit. Big dope busts, crazy accidents, trees falling and 8 cars running into them. A lot of cars break down. Here's a guy with a bunch of cattle. We'll just do it. I'm going to start taking suggestions on, I'm reluctant to like take suggestions on how to improve my channel because it's not like, I hate even calling it a channel. It's just like a place where I can upload stuff that interests me. And I'm not like trying to like make more people come or any of that bullshit. But I would take, if there's something you guys like that you'd like to see or it interests you, I'd do it. Now that I would be motivated for. Like something that you really have an interest in. This has always been the way for me. 99% of my videos, nobody watches. It's been that way from day one. I still do the same stuff. Coleslaw, shrimp tacos, cloud videos, which I'm obsessed with videotaping things. Like I got this weird thinking. Like I like doing stuff. Well, I like it too. I don't do anything I don't like. But I like to like show people it. Like maybe you don't have the time to do this or something. I want you to see it. And that's why I do it. I really do. It's crazy, isn't it? That's my motivation, really. I hope this doesn't buffer, but if it does, I'll do a little video of the church and then I'll sign back on. This church is about 6 miles from me. Now here's another example too. This is terrible, but you need to talk about these subjects openly. It used to be redlining, red districting, keeping the blacks out of the white, and then it's gentrification. They did it in Chicago where I lived, Cabrini Green. They wiped out the low-income housing and built super expensive condominiums that, of course, 99% white people moved in. And I think to myself, yeah, man, it's still their home. And I quit using Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. I just look at individuals independently in their situation. If I know a group of people that are getting fucked or, just had bad luck, and they gotta get a ride to do their laundry. I don't care what they are, Chinese, black, Polish. And if I can help them, even though it's not like hugely profitable, I would do it. Because it seems like that's the least you can do when you get lucky. I don't have the greatest life, but I have a pretty good life. And if I could take my luck and have somebody else I wouldn't even call getting a laundry facility luck. It's just like a nice gesture as a person. You know, not everything's like how much you make. There was a thing back there cutting logs. And if he's there when I come back, I'm going to videotape it, because I never really get a clear shot of them clear cutting, which is what they're doing. This is 22. Yeah, I think it's just like, you know, I want to like, I just was trying to figure out a way how I can like, not this corny catchphrase, give back, you know, all this, you know, not that, but just, you know what I'm saying? You know, just somebody, it's like, it just seems, if you live like a long life, there gets to be a point where it never occurred to you when you're younger that you're privileged in a way because you got a washer and dryer in your house. You don't need to go anywhere. I realize when I do my laundry, it's like I just go, don't think anything of it, put some soap in there, and these poor people, it's not the end of the world, had to, but in the whole scheme of things, I just like to like make a laundry facility for people. They, you know, where they're not getting bent over. I'd be happy to just break even. Now, there's a chance I could go in it and be saying to you in no time, why did I do this? Stuff's vandalized, I'm not making any money. All people do is bitch. Yeah, this can happen too. Which I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like topless bars, you know, I was talking about strippers going to Texas. I don't think I'd ever want to own a topless bar. I think it'd be a terrible business. Just people in there that don't want to be. I just wouldn't want to do it. It sounds crazy, but I wouldn't want to like just be involved in this bullshit. They're gonna start locking this. They keep vandalizing. Right here. Historical black church, 57% white, EJ, still meaningful. Historical black Antioch Baptist Church. Here's another thing too. If this was a white church with the same historical history, it wouldn't be in this condition. Now I'm talking like a liberal. See, I promise not to use these, but this is not right. I mean, this is a super historical church. It's about ready to fall over. This is all blacks, slaves, all that shit. This is not right. I don't think it's right. Now, I hope it doesn't buffer. Check it out, Antioch. I usually take Daisy in, but she doesn't know we're here, so I'm just gonna walk in. Hey, Rebecca. Yeah, this is like, no, not this one. This is a super church. I mean, some son of a bitch vandalized it about a month ago, and the inside sprayed that damn graffiti. You believe that? They leave it unlocked. Reminded me of Detroit. You gotta lock everything, put a camera on it, or it's destroyed. Now, if this buffers, I will take a little video. I got a lot of videos on it up too. It's super rich history. The graves, everything. This tree's probably 150 years old. No, they didn't get a new one. Nope, they didn't. Nope. This is super interesting history. Slaves built this and stuff. All that stuff. Now, I hope you get to see this. And I hope nobody... I'm going to be really disappointed if somebody painted these walls again. And I hope it doesn't buffer. But if it does, I will take you a video. No, they left the money in the basket. You're exactly right. No. Yeah, I did paint over it. I didn't think it was any big deal. I mean, I was just like, oh, see, that's a sign of getting old, too. I looked at this graffiti on the wall. It's like, you motherfucker. And all I did was took a chip of paint off. This is the original color, too, by the way. I took a chip of paint off. I went to Home Depot. They matched it perfectly. I bought a cheap brush. They mix it up in that machine. Came over here. Took me 5 minutes. I mean, it ain't any big deal. But you can't see it anymore. I mean, I don't think I'm going to, grow another 2 inches on my schlong tonight for doing it. But I think, if this would have took 12 hours, I probably wouldn't have done anything. It took 10 minutes. Big deal. Yeah, this is cool. This is a super rich history. Hey, you guys, I know I keep talking about this. Buy a Mega Millions. It's in every state, I think it's 1.4 billion. If I won the Mega Millions, I would do this thing totally. I would redo this thing for them. I wouldn't give a shit what it cost. I'd just blow money on this. These are the original pews, original glass. And look at the money in the thing that is not stolen. Even the graffiti guy didn't steal the money. Yeah, get a Mega Millions. Yeah, it's 1.4 billion. Look. I leave money here too. I mean, how would you like to come into this nice church and you see graffiti? What a shit thing to do. I'd give them money. I'm gonna take 10 of these ones and I'm gonna leave a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones right there. And I'm going to leave $10 bill. You witness this. My conscience is my guide. There's 10. These 10 ones. Marty collects ones for his grandkids. Oh, and here's I never saw this Jesus thing before. Can you guys see that? Oh, put it under the ones? Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Look, people leave change too, isn't that sweet? It doesn't get stolen though. Oh, can you read it at all? Can you see it at all or not really? Okay, it's religious stuff. These are the people that visit. 728. This is such a good church. Oh, thank you. You liked it. It's fun to read these. Oh, it's blurry. Oh, sorry. Can you at least see this? Look at the piano. Oh, write our names? Yeah, I'll put it down. I'll put it on there for you. EJ's Wonderland.
EJ's Wonderland. I put, what up, bitch? Yeah, I heard about this Pokemon shit. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Look at it. This is all original stuff, you guys. Isn't this cool? Look at this view. Now it's a big, huge, long, like religious thing. Oh, it's cool, isn't it? Look at the chair. Preach, I'd like to. Oh yeah, I can let Daisy in. Yeah, she'll want to come in. She'll want to come in. If she recognizes that we're here, she'll want to come in. I'll let her in. She'll pray. She likes the Spirit of the Lord. She does like coming in here. It's weird, even if it's hot. The Lord will bring us Daisy here. This is our religious service today. See, there's a million places like this little place here. There's literally a church every couple miles. Hey, you want to come in and say your prayers? So go pee-pee. Come on. Come in, get down here. Let's go pee-pee. We're at the church. Come on. Blue wants to see a pee-pee. Let's go pee-pee. Oh yeah, remember this? Oh yeah. She's up for it. She wants to feel the Spirit. You want to go pee-pee on? Blue, remind me to send you a photo of a copperhead snake. I didn't take it, but it was a guy that was staying at the house when we were gone. Atta girl, pee-pee, good girl. Come in and say your prayers. See the Spirit? Oh yeah, huh? Daisy's feeling the Spirit. Come on, hon. Daisy. Come on, hon. Come on, Daisy. I don't know who owns this, actually. I don't know. Come on, Daisy. Come on, hon. Hey, girl. Come on, hon. Get the Spirit. No, she's snorting. Come on, hon. Come on, honey. Must have been something in here. A rat or something. Good girl, hon. She's got allergies, too. Oh, yeah. Good girl, huh? Wow. Wow, hon. Wow. Prayers, huh? Good girl. Wow. That's right. Good girl, huh? You good girl? You like it in here, huh? Lord's Prayer. It's a cute little church, though, isn't it? You ready to go bye-bye? You ready to go bye-bye? Walkie bye-bye. You feeling the Spirit? You feeling the Spirit? Marty's been giving her too many treats. She's getting fat. You feeling the Spirit? Well, go. You ready to go bye-bye? Yeah, she does that a lot. Okay, let's go bye-byes. Feel the spirit, huh? Let's go bye-byes. She seems to like coming in here, you're right. No, they do. Some place that says something. There used to be a sign that said sometimes it's used for things. I'll get married in here. If I got married again, I'd get married in here. Get the spirits. This is the women and the men's bathroom. Right on. That's going to be my shtick. Women. Cool. I think it's interesting. You ready to go bye-bye? Let's go bye-bye. It's cool, isn't it? But there's no paint, which is good. Daisy, you preaching, hon? It's an interesting graveyard, too, the old graves. Not that old, really. This was built in 1886. I mean, it is old, but, you know, a lot of stuff around these areas, like, that's the date, you know, buildings, and then after the Industrial Revolution. And, yep. Let's party. Get in there. Let's go bye-bye. I'll move the camera. Atta girl. Go ahead. Go on. I got it good and cold in here for her. Isn't that a cute little church? Good girl, hun. Hey, Squirrely. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I come down here. I've been down here a lot since I moved here. But they have a lot of cool churches here. Really it's really interesting. Yeah, it only took like 5 minutes, $20. Maybe that'll cancel out a couple thousand hours of porn that I watched. I don't think it works that way. Good Lord will cancel out some of my memories. It's like I will get 2,000 hours knocked off my purgatory as a Catholic, watching porn when I should have. Now somebody cuts the grass out here. I don't know who. I'd like to know, just for the hell of it. Not my business, but I would like to know. I'm trying to get this thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's it. You know, you drive these roads, it's like this everywhere. Nobody on the road hardly. Night, day, doesn't matter. Beautiful roads. Marked, beautiful. Great, you know, no chuck holes. I mean, the roads are like this everywhere down here. Except the dirt one I live on. It's just fun to like just randomly go out, do this kind of stuff. Now I'm gonna see if I can get this clear cutting. It's hard to like, you know, they're usually back in the woods. It probably wouldn't interest you, but I'd see them sometimes like in obstructed view, but I never see them like right up. It's pretty impressive machinery they have. The thing goes up to a whole tree, buzzes it off, turns it sideways, skins it, trims up the ends, and then stacks it on a trailer all at once. It's cool as hell. You see these trucks going down with a whole trailer full of logs. I got a metal detector. You can go back. I get too bored doing it too soon.
I go out there, it's hot, I dig around, I don't find shit, and I quit. But I think it's a good place for metal detecting. This isn't a very big gold area. That's more up in the north section of Georgia, and it's not that great there either. Crazy as it seems, out in this middle of nowhere like this, fiber optic is buried. We just got it a couple months ago. I have 1 gigabyte download speed, 256 upload. I mean, that's just smoking. They run hospitals on half that. There it is right there where they're clear cutting. But all the equipment's gone. Isn't that crazy? See, caution trucks, like right here. I think it's interesting. Yeah, they're clear cutting right there, but they're not. None of that stuff's moving. Taliaferro County. It's pronounced Taliaferro, but it's spelled T-I-T-A-I-L-L-A-F-E-R-R-O. It's the ruralest county east of the Mississippi. Whole county has only 1,500 people in it. No hospital. 1,500 people in the whole county. What's that blue thing? What's that blue thing? Oh, thank you. I'll put it. I'll count that as my money I put in the church thing. Thank you. We didn't need to do that. I'll put it in the church thing. Thank you, Jay. Now this place has been in a few movies. Heavy's Barbecue. It was in that one movie with, I can't think of the actress's name. You can look it up. There's been 14 movies filmed here. Look it up, Crawfordville, Georgia. Thank you, EJ. I'll say a prayer for you. Warming up a little bit. 84 now. Hopefully it's not as blurry. I mean, I'm lucky I get any kind of signal at all to talk to you, let alone clear. That's where I get fried. They have good fried chicken there. I get it all the time. I'm sick of eating it. Hey, get your Mega Million. I'll get you. Oh, that's probably for your Mega Million ticket. I'll get you one when I go back to see Ann. Well, she might be there now. What time is it? 2 o'clock yet? No, I'll get you a Mega Million. I'll photograph it and send it to you. I'll get you a Mega Million. Yeah, that's what that's for. I couldn't read it all because it's like the screen gets dark. My glasses get dark, and it's hard to see going this way. And but I'll buy you a Mega Million. Yeah, I got you covered on that. It's not till Friday, by the way. See, now this is this silage I was telling you about. They use to feed the cattle. It's just kind of like weeds that are cut. I wish we had a food truck here, a good food truck. Yeah, I'll get you a Mega Millions. Yeah. Don't worry, I got you covered on that. It's in every state, though, by the way, I think. I think it's in every state, isn't it? Doesn't every state have the Mega Millions? There's some states that don't have lottery. I would be surprised. Come down and visit. You guys can just come down and visit. We'll party. Party all night. Looks like it's going to rain. I sure hope it does. I love a good rain. Now this guy who owned this place only stayed open six months. Auto thing, went out of business, couldn't get help. Weird shit, you know. People claiming their car didn't work. Yeah. I feel bad for him. Oh, what is that? Is that $2? Yeah, I got you covered on that either way. I got one for you either way. Oh, Mark Crocker. You want me to get you Mega Millions too? I'll get you one. I'll get you one. Oh, 45. Oh, I thought it was every state. Huh, no kidding. Yeah, I'll get you one. Yeah, we've had a guy hit for 50 grand in that party store I go to. You know, they don't know what party store is down here. That's what we call it in Michigan. But anybody that can't get a Mega Millions, I'll get you one. It's $2 for the ticket, and then $3 for the Megaplier. And what the Megaplier is, if you get everything but the Powerball, you can win between 1 and 5 million. Now, if you look at betting theory, there's logic behind betting theory. It's a bad bet. Why? Because here you're spending 2 to win 1.4 billion or whatever it is. That's a good bet. Bad odds. Yeah, no shit. You expect good odds for a $2 bet to win over $1 billion. But when you're spending $1 to win the max 5 and the lowest 1, that's a bad bet. You're spending a whole $1 on a small pot. It's considered a bad bet. But for $1, which you can't buy shit with anymore anyway, I would keep myself from going crazy if I didn't play the $1 and it hit and I was not going to get a minimum million, a maximum 5 because I didn't play the $1. It's a bad bet, but I could live with it, so I get it anyway. It's $3 for that one. I get it every time. It's a dollar insurance policy that I don't go nuts for not getting the extra if I didn't win the big one. No, I'll get you one anyway. I'll get you, whoever had me get him a ticket, I'll get you the Megaplier. Yeah, it's enough. Well, I think YouTube takes, don't worry about it, I got it. YouTube takes it, yeah. I'll get you one. You got Canadian dollars too. Hell no, it's not enough. That dollar ain't worth shit. But I got you. I got you on it. Hey, Pog. I got you covered on it. Now, this will buffer, but it'll go away, so hang in there. Especially on cloudy days. Fourth largest pot. The last guy that won, he bought one ticket. $2. He's a billionaire. I mean, no, it's not good odds. But, you know, that's why you're lucky to have a chance at it. No, it's not tits. It's always buffer. Yeah, I'll be home in a minute. Little buffers, I pull in the driveway, then go away once I get my super smoking feed. So it's going to go to crappy to pretty clear. I want to make sure I got this right on these tickets too. So hang in there for 5 minutes, please.
Humidity's high today. I can tell I'll have the truck freezing cold inside and Daisy's still panting. The guest bedroom, my bedroom, living room, I want to be able to have the windows open in a big storm. And I had to pay a lot. I love like storms and rain, and I can leave the windows open in rain like hell and just be sitting there in a chair drinking beer. It's gonna be so great. Yeah, we're good now. You weathered the storm. We're on my home Wi-Fi. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Daisy'd rather not walk on the stones. I gotta put this beehive together today, which I'm dreading. It's gonna rain like a motherfucker. Good. I gotta put one of the tomatoes fell off. This is a big deal here. A tomato fell off. I'm gonna move this. These fucking bees. Yeah, seemed like yesterday. I got a lot of bees on me. Well, where you can get stung is these bees, or I don't know, they've been like, I got a blue shirt on too. It's not the same one I wore 2 days in a row either, it's a different one. Put this here. But what'll happen is, like, I'll be sitting down in this chair and there's a bee on my back that I don't know, and I pinch in between my shirt and the chair. That's how you get stung. I don't really care, but that's how it happens. Yeah, it's gonna rain here. Yeah, now we got, you guys, the camera should be really clear, is it? There's something going on with these bees. I don't quite understand it, to tell you the truth. They're out there on the piles of corn I put for the squirrels. And they're like right now for a second, there was probably 50 bees on my shirt. And I really don't know what they're up to. It's weird. Oh, clear. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, this is a one gig of one. Let's see. Yeah, 1 gigabyte download, 256 upload. I mean, that's smoking. I can watch porn in 4K now without it buffering. Oh, good. It's expensive though. It's like $154 a month, just the internet, which is worth it to me. You know what I've noticed though, and I could probably, we could get by with a lot less. Marty likes watching stream and stuff. I'm not too much of a TV watcher. And I didn't want any problem with, me doing my YouTube and him, having a problem watching a stream. And so, there can be 10 people on this and it doesn't slow it down at all. So it's worth it. But the limiting factor for me as far as speed is YouTube. If YouTube speed matched mine, I'd be uploading 4K hour videos in, 90 seconds. Theirs is fast, but I really don't know the speed, but I think I could get by with much slower speed. I just don't want to. The difference is in the upgrades for the super smoking speed. It's not that much. Like bullshit is 50 a month. Okay is 100. Very fast is 100 and a quarter, and the fastest they have is 160 or whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, Daisy's just chilling. Yeah, she doesn't get this opportunity much in the summer. It's too hot, and she's got that black hair. She's looking to chase a squirrel right now. Daisy, you just chilling, hon? Yeah, it's nice here. Just sit here. This is how it is all the time. Just quiet. You don't hear anything. Planes, trains, hardly ever a car goes by. So Mark, you want a Mega Millions, and I'll get one for EJ. Yeah, I get the Mega Million plus the Megaplier. It's $3. Yeah, that's what I get. But like I said, the extra dollar is not what's considered a good bet because you're spending a dollar for only 5 million tops. It's really like throwing away a dollar. But if it hit and I didn't play it, I'd be pissed. So I look at it. It's worth a dollar not to go insane. Yeah, I'll get you one. Yeah. Take care, Mark. You party, and I'll get EJ one too. See, I got a bunch of bees around my face. No, what they're doing lately, they got food, but they're like attracted to things they normally don't give a shit about. I can't quite figure it out. Like piles of corn. I couldn't even put any more corn down because the bees are over. I didn't want to crush them. And they're usually looking for water, and they have plenty, so I don't quite get it. Just sit out here and don't do shit. Might read a couple hours. This female book I'm reading is really interesting. That's what I think, but I don't know how they do that. I mean, that would be they got better things around. That's what I think. Yeah, it's a good question. You think I'd know that by being with bees? I can tell you this, empirical observation, just watching them, and that is when it's about ready to really rain, you'll notice there's hardly any bees out. It's got to be air pressure, barometric pressure, and you would think it would just take them all out when they're flying, and it doesn't seem to bother them. I see them get knocked out of the air sometimes, but they dry off and then take off again. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Because a water droplet on something the size of a bee, you think it'd kill it, but that exoskeleton is like very hard, and even the wings are clear and pliable. They're pretty tough. Yeah, they keep on trucking. Hey, John boy. Yeah, I think it's kind of a mystery though, and it's fun watching the other insects too. Like we got these sweat bees and hornets and stuff eating the honey. We kind of backed off putting the sugar on there, and we did because there's just a bunch of them are hanging around trying to get in the house, though. That never used to happen. Well, this hive is going to get moved. I don't mind it, and Marty doesn't, but when people come over, they're afraid of it. They don't like bees on them, and they swat, and that's where the trouble starts. Yeah, it's peaceful. Yeah, it is. It really is. And lately, they've been like, I got probably 10 of them flying around me now. There's one in the front of the camera, that blurry. And sometimes it gets on my nerves, too. Like you're trying to read something. I tell people not to swat. That's what gets you stung, swat. No, they don't like bees, no. I mean, I think I'm going to take this beehive in and assemble it inside just because these bees will drive you nuts. I'll find a part that's not going on right and be pissed, and there'll be 3 bees flying around my eyes. It's really interesting to me how they trigger the attack mode or not. It's all chemicals and signals, and it's complicated. They don't really make mistakes that I've seen. And if you're in a bee suit and you go and you do something that, alerts them to attack, they don't blow that stinger on that cotton used for the bee suit. They'll walk around there looking for like skin to sting, and if it's not there, they don't do it. It's weird. Yeah, this is like a nature nut hive, ware, Warre. And the difference is those are basically just hollow squares in different stages. Like if you look down there, the small bottom, there's babies in it. I would say probably one and a half of the other supers, the tiers, are filled with honey. Maybe not yet, capped honey. So basically that's a baby rear and capped honey for the winter. But I'd be surprised if there was much in the tallest section. It's not like you just get bees and they just fill up hives. It's slow actually. When you first get them, there aren't enough to really make a lot of honey. And then as time goes, they get more productive and they get it down better, and there's enough honey to survive the winter. And over the years, you get a little more each year. But it isn't like they just fill that hive up with honey right away. It's a new budding hive. Now we supplement their food a lot. Excuse me. So that helps them from flying around, saves them a lot of work. So there's probably more honey in there than there would be if we didn't. But it wouldn't be as much as you think. I mean, these bees can go through a 5-pound bag of sugar, no problem. So you can imagine how much flying that would entail that they don't have to do because they can hang around home, which leads to more honey in the hive, probably a better statistic with regard to brood making it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, you can look this up. It's a Warre hive. So there's no, you see the frames and honey. These bees draw the comb, which means make the comb, and they're not forced into making it in a rectangle because I've got rectangle sheets of fake wax that they mimic and follow and build their comb on top of. If you ever see bees draw a comb, which means make their comb, of course they don't make it in neat, evenly stacked rectangles. It looks like tapestry. It's beautiful. It's like waves around. Looks like a fan blowing ribbons all over the place. And they make sure there's enough space. They can walk in between it. But if you looked in there, what you would find is they're drawing comb from the top to the bottom, and it would be irregular shaped. Like if I took the top part off, which is a vent, and went down to however far it would be to where they've drawn comb, you would see that they've drawn comb from the top down, and it'd be all different shapes and sizes, not touching, and it'd be vertical. Some may be 10 inches long, some may be 3 inches long. In other words, they draw it however they feel like. The reason for traditional Langstroth hives, which are the kind that you see in fields and stuff, is you go in there, you take the frames of honey out, and they're not always 100% filled. Most of it's filled. And you take an uncapping knife. There's heated knives. And you run that uncapping knife across the top of the capped honey. They cap the honey. It's sealed. And that melts the top part off. And then you stick the honey in a centrifugal extractor. You turn it on and it spins all the honey to the sides, which drips down, and you collect and you sell and blah, blah, blah. And then you take those empty comb that you spun the honey out of, and you put it back in the hive. Wax making is super intensive. Lots of labor, takes forever, and causes for an increase in body temperature. And it saves them a lot of work. So you put it back in there, and now all they got to do is fill it again. I mean, beekeeping on a commercial scale is all about total exploitation. It's like one of the worst examples I could give you. That's why when I see people selling combs of honey at like farmers markets, it's cool, it's neat. But if you knew what it took for bees to build that, it just doesn't seem right. Yeah, I don't think it does. I mean, everything gets exploited. I mean, here I am. I may get a hamburger or a chicken McNuggets today. I do it too. I guess I don't want to be that close to being responsible for it. We just have these hives. I'm going to get another 25 in the fall just to let the bees do their thing. We don't take any honey. Now, this flow hive right here, it's some contraption. I'm not quite sure it's set up. And honey drips into a jar at a slow rate. And you have your friends come over and kids, and you say, hey, stick your honey in there, stick your finger in there, and everybody thinks it's cool. Well, not my type, but it's nothing like taking the frames out and spinning them dry and putting them back in. So it is an improvement. This is, everybody that knows we mess around with bees, they want some of the honey, of course, and they're going to have a taste of it by this flow hive. You don't need to go in there and disrupt the bees. It just like drips down at a drop, drop, drop over a long period of time. And before you know it, you got a jar full of it. I don't really get how it works. They're kind of expensive. I think that's like $600. It's all made out of cedar, all cut out. Looks like a super pain in the ass to fill out. I don't really know how it'll work. I should know today. Oh, ducks and bees? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do an observation hive in my house where you can just sit in the living room and you'll see this giant glass panel where the bees are in there doing their thing and coming in and out when they want to. See, this, you can do an observation hive down there. This is actually a great area for bee raising. No really harsh winters. You may get a day or two here and there, but not enough to wipe them out. Where Michigan, you can. If you have an observation hive, the bee doesn't know. Bees, even in cold climates, will go out and go to the bathroom when they get a shot. That's why people don't know it, but you want a good deck angle for your hives to be exposed in the winter. And what that means is even in Michigan, in the winter, you want that sun to hit that hive, even though the days are shorter. You want it to strike that hive for 4 or 5 or 8 hours or whatever. I mean, there are UV rays even in cloudy days, even in the winter. So what'll happen is it'll heat that hive. It'll save them from going through energy to heat it. And they'll come out and they'll go to the bathroom and they'll go back in. But if you have an observation hive in a cold climate, it's crazy, man. You have like a tube that can come in and out. And I've seen plenty of examples where, let's say you had one in Minnesota or in Canada, and winter came, and you got these bees, and they don't know shit. They're in there, and they just know it's warm in there all the time, which they've evolved to be used to winter and summer. And that's gone now because it's summer in the hive all the time because where they're at is on the inside of the home. So they fly out that tube, and they don't know that it's like -10. And they fly about 10 feet, and by that time they can't beat their wings anymore. And you'll see observation hives in cold climates where people didn't know this would happen. And their bees are they'll see a whole pile of bees dead. And that'll keep happening until there are none left. It's stupid. And these people that make these observation hives, they don't clue them in. Why? Because they wouldn't buy one then. And they're expensive. But this, I'm going to do some queen rearing, some hybrids, fool around with some genetics. And, have fun with it. But I know I'm not into selling honey or any of that crap. It doesn't interest me. I may fool around with some bumblebees. Bumblebees, they all die. So you only have the queen in the spring. They're actually a better pollinator for some crops like blueberries. If you see a bumblebee in blueberries, it's just like a Mack truck going through. But if you see honeybees, they seem to like struggle on blueberries. Their feet are getting stuck, and they're flying their ass off. But you see honeybees in like an apple orchard, and they seem to love it, or an orange orchard. It's an open flower. It's in and out. I mean, I could be wrong about this. Again, empirical observation, watching them, I can't help but think that if you had a brain cell firing, you would rather have things work easy than hard. And when they're in blueberries, they seem to struggle. They still do it, but not like they do in apples or even watermelons or pickles. Potty trained bees, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, really. So you're starting over every spring, But if you got a lot of blueberries, I mean, they can do it. Honeybees, believe it or not, in the way they've evolved, they live longer going into the winter, so the hive survives. It's crazy, isn't it? And that's all regulated by temperature, kind of like the sex of turtles. They bury the eggs at different heights in the sand, and the temperature creates an enzyme that determines how many sex hormones are going to be in that particular egg. So you can control as a species the males or females by egg heights. It's crazy, isn't it? And these bees only live about 40 days in the summer. It's constant, except the queen. And once you have a mated queen, just like a mated bumblebee, they don't need to remate. That's it. They can produce fertile eggs till the day they die. And if the queen, this is a new queen. I know beekeepers that requeen every year, which I think is cruel. They crush the old queen and bring in a new just for more honey production. I would never do that. I just couldn't do it because I don't really care about honey production, you know. But if this queen starts fucking off, these workers, which are all female, they recognize that and they will get on her ass and give her extra royal jelly and, you know, let her know in some kind of chemical communication that you keep this shit up and we're going to take you out, requeen and swarm and go somewhere else and start over with a new queen, which they can create on their own. Queen cells kind of look like a Dairy Queen upside down. And one reason that happens amongst a bunch that I don't fully understand is overcrowding. Or the queen's just like not laying the eggs she should be. She can lay like 2,000 eggs a day, no problem. And they'll requeen a new hive and it'll be back to the good old days. The whole idea is survival for the next generation. It's interesting. Yeah, Galapagos turtles, yeah. Actually, Marty's wife got a great video of a turtle hatching the other day. She sent it to me. I would have loved to upload it, but I know what would happen if I uploaded it. She's going to upload it on her channel, and then they're going to send me a thing if I want a copyright strike her, so I just didn't upload it. I saw that one time in Florida. It's actually very hard to see. They're all up. You know, the idea, in theory, that's supposed to happen at night, which is why they want all the lights turned off. You know, little turtle, he doesn't know shit. He just sees a light and he thinks it's the sunrise when it could be the moon, and he crawls out in the middle of a busy 4-lane highway in India, Atlantic, Florida. It's supposed to happen at night, but it doesn't always. Nature's not perfect. I saw it one time. I just happened to be standing there looking down, and all of a sudden you see like 70 turtles like coming out and heading to the water. So cool. You know, this was about probably 93, 4. And they all went and headed into the water. Cute little things, like maybe an inch long. They're little flippers. Yeah, but I'm telling you, insects rule the world. That is no shit. Let's say, for an example, you could like get across chemically to these bees that I was a threat. They could kill me right now. They could send 2,000 bees to sting me at once, and I'd definitely die. For a lot of reasons. 1,000 bee stings. I would die like of a heart attack, not even anaphylactic shock. And even these fire ants, which I find fascinating too, they're non-indigenous. I'll tell you, the fire ant is a monster. Oh, here's another thing I looked up the other day too. There's a vine that grows here. It looks like barbed wire. And it's called Smilax, Smilax. And I'm not kidding you. If you go in there and you're doing something, it will shred your legs to ribbons. I thought it was just getting old. You know, your skin's like not as tough as it used to be, but it isn't. And I can't really find an evolutionary purpose for it, which I usually can figure out somewhere through reading something. But it's all over. Now, I just wiped it all out around here, like around these trees and stuff, you see. And I went and looked it up. Look it up, Smilax, Smilax. I looked it up and I noticed in a couple of these places where I just mowed this shit flat, that it's already about a foot tall. It comes out of the ground and it grows upwards. It's growing like a son of a bitch. I'm gonna go clip it today. I'll take a little video if it interests you. But it's interesting to me from an evolutionary standpoint. At first I thought that's the $50,000 question in a lot of living things. What's the evolutionary advantage, the purpose of it all? And there always is one. And I thought, well, maybe this stuff grows where it keeps like stuff coming in there, eating baby rabbits or something. There's something for it. Oh, there's a hummingbird. I don't know, but it's impressive as a vine. It will cut. It's just like barbed wire. I'll take a little video of it today. It's interesting to me, and it'll tear your ass up, man. And it's one of these, like, you get these, it'll like, you'll be going in there like it like rips your skin like a saw blade, like a bandsaw blade, and you'll bleed like hell. I mean, it's not like a deep cut or anything, but if people see it, they'll want to know what you do. I mean, it always looks like that. And it's tougher than nails. I mean, there was a big clump of it in a place, and there's a bee on my nose now. A big clump of it in a place. And, I was using the excavator, the mini excavator, which is still a beast of a piece of machinery. And I reached down and took that bucket and tried to get a bunch of it out at once, and it lifted the back end of that excavator up. That shows you how strong it is. Yeah, Smilax. There's other slang names for it too. Deer wire and deer bob wire and stuff like that. Yeah, wasn't that fun, Info? And of course, there's plenty of non-indigenous things here, plants. But this Smilax is fascinating from a biological perspective. It's ugly, it tears your ass up. But man, and it's so resilient. There's another weed too. I've got a book on weeds, but I just haven't read it yet. Florida weeds. And there's this other plant that grows like, I'll go and wipe everything out, and in 2 days, it'll be 7 inches tall. It's weird. I don't know what it is yet. I'll figure it out eventually. But the way this stuff makes it is impressive. Yeah, he's been on my nose for about the last 20 minutes. He's on the inside of my glasses, then he's on the outside. He's on my eyelid now. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere out here. It's this one. See him on my glasses? I don't know. This is a mystery to me. I mean, this always kind of happens. But this one is like extra looking. He's looking for something, and I don't know what, because he has water. And believe me, I tell you guys not to swat at bees. I get pissed off at these bees sometimes. I'll be like if I was putting this hive together, and I might swat his ass because he's pissing me off and I'm trying to get something done. And he might sting my ass for trying to swat his ass. I mean, I hate to say this, I like them, but in the last couple days, they're becoming a pain in the ass. So for all the people that told me I was crazy for putting the bees on the porch, you got me on this one, at least for the last 2 days. Yeah, see, now he put a bunch of sticky stuff on my glass. It's like he pooped and peed all over the front lens of my glass. Can you see that smear? There he is again. See him on that bottom lens? But he's got my glass all. I thought it was kind of blurry. Yeah, that's what he did. And there's nothing that beats the determination of these insects. It's no shit. Busy as a bee, that's no kidding. And the Bible references the bee a lot too. Strength in numbers. Same with these red ants. Yeah, he pooped and peed all over my lens. He's gonna do it some more. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I don't know if you can see that. See that smear in the middle of the lens? That's all crap that he crapped out on my lens. Yeah, they're just doing a little like different behavior. I don't know. Well, you know how a lot of this shit is too, man. Like, I watch this stuff and I read it, but it's still, you're still more questions than answers. Why they do what they do, I don't know. I mean, Marty asked me questions a lot about bees. Why are they doing this? It's like, fuck. I can tell you what I've read, and I can tell you what it seems like, but I don't know if that's why they're doing it. It's a lot of this is bullshit. These beekeepers are so full of shit. It's the old trick, adage, I should say. Ask 5 beekeepers a question, you'll get 5 different answers, and that is no shit. That's cool, isn't it, Frank? No, he won't sting me. I shouldn't say never. What usually gets you stung is you pinch them and you don't realize it. Like they're attracted to blue, I think. And like, let's say I got 10 of them on my back, and I sit on this chair, and my back touches the back of the chair. Well, they're thinking something's trying to kill me, and they sting me. That's what usually gets you stung. Now, I can tell you this, dude. Look at the hummingbird. See him? But usually, another thing too is you pinch him if you're fooling around the hives. Now, I've noticed, and here's another theory, and I don't know for sure if it's true, but it makes sense. In the spring, when the bees are busy, they're setting up, making wax, they're setting up a hive. They got a lot of shit to do. I mean, and they're like that, man. I mean, there's not a lazy bee in the world. They're on there, they're doing their thing, they're busy, and they seem so busy that, I did this. I like animals, and you think you got a relationship with them, and you're treating them right, and you're doing the right thing, and you don't know shit, and you get into bees, and, you're watching these videos, and these guys are like I am, sitting out here, and it's like the bees are flying around. It's like, wow, this guy, he's really, these bees don't seem to mind him. Yeah, it's because there's nothing at stake. In the spring, it's chaos. They got so much shit to do. It's busy as a bee. So you can go in there. I don't like smoke in the hive. That's another theory I think is off too. And I'll go in there and I'll be doing bullshit and arranging stuff, and these bees are just flying around me, and it's like, wow, this is really cool. I'm really tight with Mother Nature. But then the summer goes by. They've raised a lot of brood. They've got a lot of honey stored, a lot of pollen packed away for the winter. Now they got something to protect. And you try going in there under those circumstances. It's not happening. Not happening. See, this bee's back at my camera. And they're very aggressive. Well, I should say aggressive. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They got things to protect. They have some babies left. They got a full winter store of food. And I'm a big object moving around their thing, and they're on their A game. I think it's all chemicals, bees. I think it's canned behavior. It's kind of like that. It's in them. It's fascinating. With the old hound dog. I think it's all done with chemicals, just like with red ants. It's super interesting. You want to read Edward Wilson. I think he was born in Alabama or Arkansas. He's a Harvard professor, retired now. I don't even know if he's still alive. He's written a lot of books on insects, particularly ants. And you read about ants and what they do, and it's like, wow. It's crazy. I think it's all chemicals, but that could be wrong too. You just don't know. I mean, there's theories for all this stuff, and occasionally, like whales beaching themselves. One week they think it's Earth's magnetic field, and the other week it's something else. Who knows? Same with migration and birds, just absolutely unbelievable. The Kirtland warbler is an example, Kartland, which for a while, that's in Michigan in the summer, was the world's rarest warbler. Winters in the Bahamas, that kind of thing. Here you have babies, being born in like Mayo, Michigan, not far from where I lived, hatching out of the egg, getting fed from their parents for a few weeks, heading into the fall. They just take off one day. and head to the Bahamas like their parents did. And they're not following their parents. I mean, they ban these birds and keep track of them. It's just like crazy. Like these black vultures raising babies. You know, they didn't take a class or have their mother show them how to do it. It's just in them. It's canned into them. I mean, in March, those babies, those eggs were laid. They were flying in June, and now they're a 5-foot wingspan, 4.5-pound bird that wasn't even in this world in early March. It's crazy. And then you get humans, you know, and they're leaving them in cars and not feeding them and getting diaper rash. Yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah, how they know where to go. Yeah, bird migration is super fascinating. It's high in peril too, risk. Like this year, we don't have too many hummingbirds back. And you know, if you look at all the risk and the distances they cover, I mean, it's a constant day-to-day survival. Stuff wanting to eat in them, weather conditions, food. I mean, those hummingbirds double their weight and fly across the Gulf of Mexico. It's crazy. I'm probably going to let Daisy in because I think these bees are like, I don't want her getting stung in the mouth. You want to go inside, hon? I mean, these bees are just hanging around everything lately. I got to unlock it. Hold on, hon. Dad's got to unlock the door. Here, I'm talking to Daisy like she understands that. Definitely a sign of getting old. Go on in there. Go on. You know, salmon going back to where they were born after a long hiatus in the ocean where they've allowed to. Michigan's, I think they've ruined the Great Lakes with salmon. It's been one big mess up after another. I shouldn't say ruined it, but it's not like it should be. And if they caught you doing some shit like that, you would get the biggest fine in the world. And here they do it all, of course, related to what? Money. Deer hunting, all that stuff. It's not what it used to be, but it's still a big industry. Fish. Those salmon are, that's another one. Salmon, you know, I went salmon fishing, you know, about 3 years ago in Michigan. All these salmon are coming out. It's like, I don't know shit about it. Anthony's dad took me. We had a good time. Caught these like 25 of like these fish you see on the front of a sports magazine. And you catch them on this, like, you got this little leader, and there's no bait on it. Like kind of a lure, but the lure is way above the hook. And maybe, you know, snagging's illegal. And maybe 5% of them you're catching in the side. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here, man? And it's fun. I mean, you're catching them and they're jumping way up in the air and your reel's going zzz, zzz. I mean, it's just like something you'd see in a fishing show. It's like, wow, this is really cool. You know, I like this. Look at the hummingbird. See that hummingbird? You're thinking, this is really cool. Look at him getting the rose. And then I realized that I read up on it, and the fish aren't even eating. It's like, how is this hook getting in their mouth? Well, the hook's getting in their mouth because they're breathing hard. They're going to die when they get to where they're going to lay the eggs. And they're really on the way down. They're already starting to get a dark color. This is the life cycle of salmon. And I'm thinking, man, this is really fucked up. They're not even eating. Then I continued to read, and I found out that the leader, this bullshit thing you have on your line, keeps it legal. That you don't even really need that on there. But if you didn't have that on there and you just had a hook, they'd bust you for snagging. So you're snagging them either on the side or you're snagging them in the mouth because they're going upstream breathing, their mouth's open, and they're on the bottom, like getting it up there, and they, believe it or not, they just get this hook in their mouth, and then once they do, it's like, man, did I fuck up? They bite it and they start jumping up in the air. That's how it is. And once I realized that, I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. And then you talk to the fishermen. They said, well, they're going to die anyway. And, I thought, no way. And this is no way a sport. And the state of Michigan knows this. And they know what a sham it is to have this bullshit leader on there, as if it has anything to do with hooking this fish. It has nothing to do with it. It just makes it legal. But if you took that same line without that bullshit 50-cent leader, you get a ticket for snagging. And this is how a lot of these hunting and fishing programs are. It's all about money. Brings in a bunch of people, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing it. I don't think they do. There are some, you don't see too many birds go after bees. I'll tell you what eats the hell out of bees, though. I learned this in Michigan when I had hives, is toads. They must have something in their stomach or something that, or the bees, so he doesn't know what's what because he's in a big, dark, wet place. But they'll sit outside of a hive and just eat bees till they're full. There's certain things that eat them, but not that many. I don't see the, I don't know whether it makes them sick, unrelated to the sting. Yeah. And they're always fighting with other bees. We have these carpenter bees. I've seen a lot of babies. That's with these glass jars. I hate doing it, but they'll ruin your house. See, I have hardy board on my house, which is kind of a concrete coating over a material that looks like wood. So they can't drill through it. But in a house like this with wood, they will drill the most perfect 3/8-inch hole. Now, hang on 1 second. Hang on. That was Marty just checking in. He's buying a couple gallons of honey. Oh, wasp. Oh, okay. Yeah, they want to get that sweet stuff. Now, to me, it seems like wasps seem to have a higher degree of intelligence. Man, I watch them around here, and they're pretty good. Oh, but what I was saying about the carpenter bees, they'll wreck your house. I saw like 10 babies. I thought of crushing them right there, but I just can't get myself to do it. They don't know shit. Yeah, if it's a hole that big, it's not a carpenter bee. Hey, Luna, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I've thought of, like, I wanted to do leeches or maggots for debriding of damaged tissue, particularly with burn patients. And then I found out that you're supposed to destroy them after you do it, and I thought, I'm not doing that. I mean, if anything, I'll give them like their favorite food for like keeping a person alive. It's interesting. Maggots are interesting. So are leeches. No, yeah, I'm the same way. I do kill them though, because they can actually transmit a virus. Yeah, I do kill them when I see them. If I can hit them, fuck, they're smarter than I am. I think my odds are getting lower as the older I get. I smack them and they're long gone. No, I do that too. Yeah, I catch. We've had a lot of bees getting inside lately, and I find out what works best is toilet paper. Wad it up and like I can grab them without hurting them and take them out. It takes forever. I'll probably turn into a quadriplegic on a ladder. Squirrely, how you been doing? You been taking any trips? A lot of songbirds I can hear out. Here's the cicada. Here's that hummingbird is checking out the tomato plants. Oh, that paintbrush too. Like sometimes, like when you take the feeder jar out, that's 1-to-1 mixture of sugar and water. And that paintbrush laying there all the time, that's a soft bristle paintbrush. And what I use that for is sometimes there'll be a lot of bees on the lid of the empty feeder jar, and I use the soft bristle paintbrush to wipe them off it before I take it inside. Yeah, I hear 'em. Where's that at? Medicine Bow Forest. Oh, cool. Marty's buying $1 million worth of petrified wood. Oh, okay. Oh, that's all right. I am too. Look at the hummingbird. Well, there's a big hornet on my hand now. Yeah, I use my GoPro. I'm hoping I get a good rainstorm. I haven't really got a like excellent one. I spent a lot of battery juice the other night, and it just didn't work out. 90% of that. I don't really like editing like nature stuff, but 95% of it you couldn't use. It was just like you wouldn't even know like a camera's on. So I just didn't use it, and I uploaded that one. Like they're like that takes like 8 hours of time lapse video to make a 2.5 minute clip. Oh yeah, it's because of super fast speed, and I'm right outside of the router. Yeah, we planned it that way. Yeah, the stars here are fantastic. Excuse me. If you look at those time lapse videos I do, one of the cameras has a star tracker, and you'll see like it arc across the sky, little lines. That's actually stars moving. It's cool. Yeah, it is relaxing. Yeah, if I lay it straight up, uh, you'll see them circle, because you're looking out of the top of the earth from where we're at the Milky Way. And if I lay it like at a side and you're looking at it like a 45-degree angle over the trees, you'll see them streak across in an arc. Because there's a 23.5-degree angle difference and the earth is round, it takes some thinking to understand sunrise and sunset and where it will be and why. And once you do that and it all clicks, the whole thing makes a lot more sense. Yeah, you see that white over there next to that tree? That's my roof of my house. So yeah, you can, but barely, barely. I was just thinking today how I'm going to set up my driveway. I don't like looking out at parked cars. Looks like crap. I don't like parked vehicles either, or parked construction equipment. I mean, here I am with this right here. I don't mind that, but I don't like looking out and seeing a bunch of shit in the yard. I like just plain. Marty's building Marty's building like a 10,000 square foot other house for himself. Way in the back, 200. This house will be used. I could have had this house. But I'm a big window nut. I like to sit in the open, like laying on a bed or a couch and just have it rain like crazy and to have the windows open. That's why I spent extra money on those windows and that decking is because of that. I want the doors and windows open during the worst rainstorm ever and not worry about it. 200. 200 here at this lot and 300 next door. Yeah, we're going to have a party. Chosen one party. Yeah, I'll get into audio better. I will. But the audio's not bad. The audio is not that great though on those GoPros when I leave them outside. It sounds muffled. That's because the raindrops hit where those speakers are, even though they're waterproof, and it just kind of distorts the sound. So my audio will get a lot better. Yeah, I've got a professional recorder. I can use it like okay, like at a low level. Yeah. That mill got put up for sale, by the way. That mill where I take those videos. We were gonna do something with it, but it's too much work. We got shit to do around here. So it got put up for sale. I mean, it needs a bunch of stuff, and it's really no practical use. Yeah. We should be listed now, if not any day. I mean, it's a cool place, but it's not as good as here, I don't think. Yeah. And if we had, that clear water like Mary has up where she lives, I'd want a pond, but I don't because I don't have any mosquitoes, and I don't like that dirty looking water. Yeah, it's a cool place. I think my next thing will probably be like kind of a cool tree house. There's the hummingbirds fighting. Yeah, she probably will. But she hangs around Marty a lot. She did sleep with me for a while this morning. She usually sleeps with Marty. He spoils her. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, she gets to do what she wants. Bees are loud. If you've got a bee in your room, he will keep you up. At least it keeps me up. It's like not loud, but it's just the frequency, I guess. It'll drive you nuts. It's like a sander being left on. Yeah, we get some hellish lightning down here though. Cook you like a Christmas turkey. I don't know. I'd be a little reluctant to be up there during lightning. The thing about the tree house, though, is like I may never do it, but I like the idea of it. You know, it's hot down here a lot. There's bugs are like up the ass. You know, unless you like ran electricity and had an air conditioner in it, there's not that many times you'd be comfortable in it. You know, you get up there, you climb up there. Hey, everybody, I'm in my tree house. You're up there and you can't go to the bathroom. It's fucking hot as hell. 10 bugs just bit your ass and itches. You know, it's just not like what you're thinking. Yeah, heavy rain would be good. I would like that. Yeah. Yep. I mean, you'd probably get away with it. You'd have to be pretty damn unlucky to get struck by lightning, but it could happen. And down here, it's like, believe me, I've read a lot about this, and it's kind of defied the statistics I read. All this high up stuff, metal. I've seen probably 15 strikes, not watched them, but knew it and looked at it later. And none of it was tall stuff. One of them was actually about 6 feet tall, and it just disintegrated it. See, now I hear a car coming down the road now, which is rare. Could be one of the workers over there. It's just nice to like just sit here and hear them pounding and drilling and working 14 hours, and I'm just over here sitting on my ass. Yeah, porta potty. Yeah, you could do that. But I mean that, like getting it up there and stuff. It's just, you know, some of this stuff, it's like, you know, being in a tent here. I mean, I think being in a tent here would be miserable. You would be so, like now in the summer, you would just be broiling. You know, there's no electric, no fan. I don't care how many flaps and things you had open. For some reason, these bees are just all over my glasses today. Yeah, pee off the deck. That's what guys do. That's an advantage. I can hear Daisy snoring on the top of the couch looking out. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it sounds like that. Yeah. Look at these old antique decorations, like a turtle. No, yeah, I get it, man. I'm not a camping fan either. I mean, I like the idea of it. I like it like in the fall where it's cold and you can get in a warm sleeping bag, but that's about it. And yeah, I don't even like it that much. I don't really like hiking that much. I don't really like canoeing or kayaking for longer than an hour. I mean, my idea is if you go on the Waterton, the Canadian side of Glacier National Park, have you been up there yet, Squirrely? You'd think you're in the Swiss Alps. Beautiful. You can get rooms where you just have a view that blow your mind. And I like just, I haven't been up there in a long time, stayed there, you know, because it's such a pain in the ass to go to Canada. And I like just sitting in the room, drinking a good Canadian whiskey, wine or beer, looking out at a blizzard, not doing shit. Yeah, really, looking it up, the Waterton side. It's the only international national park in the world, I think, that's shared by two countries. And I don't know how much time you spent up near Banff, the Canadian Rockies, but they blow away the American Rockies. It's like apples and oranges. Banff, Lake Louise, it's just like stunningly beautiful. That's one of the most photographed lakes with that hotel in the world. That's one of the most photographed places in the world. Yeah. Yeah, I like just sitting in I like even being like in a skyscraper in New York or something with a blizzard, Chicago. Now, I lived on the 32nd floor and I had the best view of the city facing south. I was in near north, the Gold Coast. Believe it or not, you get sick of it after a while. I'm not shitting you. But I like being like in New York City or Miami and during a just beast of a storm. I mean, a nice sunny day with blue waters, that's okay, but nothing like a good storm being on the ocean or a blizzard. I've been out in North Dakota and South Dakota before too and just get these ass kicker snowstorms. They shut down the expressway. And you're just in this like room looking out with the drapes open and just like everything's going to hell, but you don't care because you're in this cool room, no big great shakes, but you can see the expressway and no cars. You're seeing all these alerts on TV and you're just drinking this good wine. Yeah, it is great. Oh, Giardia, and I never had that. I used to, I drank the water out in West, up in Canada for a long time before I even knew about Giardia. Yeah, actually, I'm planning on doing that. I'm planning on going to the UP for 2 or 3 weeks. Up like around Marquette, there's a couple places before Lake Superior freezes. And if not, I may go out to Minot, North Dakota. As you head west, like you don't get the snow at ground level like you'd think you get. Actually, Montana's dry. Now, if you look at Glacier National Park, which has a very short season, I mean, it's nothing for them to close in September and not open till June. But, you're looking at, what, 14,000 foot elevations? That's where you get the crazy snow. Problem is you don't have access to it. And when you're out on the ground, even though you're higher than you would be, let's say in Indiana, they don't get the snow like you'd think. Now, I've been out in Rapid City and gotten buried. I've been in Minot and gotten buried. But even Minot, you're lucky because that's, once again, you get that dry air. Another place you can really get taken out in a good way is the Sierra Nevadas. I'm not familiar with the locations. But, I like the Shining type scene where it's just, everything is like just getting buried and like you can't do shit. And all you hear is front end loaders trying to keep the parking lot open and warnings on the TV and beepers going off while I'm watching Pornhub about wind chills. I hope there is. Yeah, I hope there is higher. I like bad weather. I mean, I don't like it, messing up people's stuff. And I've been in Hannibal, Missouri. We used to have a big antique marble collector show there once a year. And I've been in Hannibal, Missouri before when they've got these big ass kicker floods and stayed in hotels like on the 6th floor and just watch it just like take out the whole town from this hotel room, which was on the north side of the street. That was kind of fun too. Yeah, there's nothing like a uh, good ass kicker storm. Humidity's real high today. Yeah, I like the ocean storms in Florida too. They're good too. That's why I don't really care. Hilton Head, their storms are bullshit. You can go over to Hilton Head. They never get any good waves. That place gets missed by the hurricanes. I think it's, as far as a beach area and potential like excitement, it's a fucking zero. If they get a 2 foot wave there, they're throwing a party. But you get down to Destin, the South End, Pensacola, Panama City, Jupiter, during those big ass kicker storms when the wind's coming out of the east, it's good. Oh, they did? How? Yeah. I've never used chains one time. You got to be in some crazy shit to use chains. But there's no big deal to put on. But I think for what you do, you're not going to need snow chains. You're not going to be going up through the Sierra Nevadas, or it's usually uphills what get you and why you need them. But they're not that hard to put on or take off. I've never used them. I never had to. But what you do want to get when you go out there, I don't know if you rent a car or whatever, is you want to get dedicated winter only tires. Not all season, not all purpose tires for winter only. Now the downside is if it gets warm, it wears the shit out of them. Warm weather. But if it's cold, it's soft rubber. Man, they grip like a son of a bitch. And get all-wheel drive too. And you won't need chains. Yeah, I was through a couple hurricanes before. I mean, that's just more of a pain in the ass. If I was living in one of those places on hurricanes, I wouldn't do the mandatory evacuation, which means they're not coming back there if something happens. I think it'd be cool to ride out a hurricane, minus the roof collapsing and getting crushed. And if you talk to Rita, who went through that hurricane in Florida, I mean, it's not sitting there drinking your favorite glass of wine, enjoying it. It's like, am I gonna drown? Yeah, it's no fun getting lost, when things are going. I've been lost in an airplane before, but I always had a lot of fuel, so it wasn't the end of the world. But I've been lost before and flying low because of cloud cover and, the hum of the engine. You kind of know where you are, but nothing you recognize. You start doubting your instruments. It's like, how can I be going east? That kind of thing. I've had that happen a couple times. Just flying, not seeing a light anywhere. It's like, God damn, where am I? And you cannot, everybody's done this. If you're flying VFR, you'll be flying low, so your nav aids aren't that great. And you fly low and look at the name on a sign in a small town. I've done it before. It's like, oh, here I am. Okay. No, she stayed. They didn't, it was supposed to miss there. She was up in her attic with her dogs, looking down at 3 feet of water in the living room, watching her shit float out the windows. Yeah, they happen. You get lost. I've been in the woods too, lost before. That's no fun either. Oh, Donner Pass. Yeah, that's a cool place. I think I might get a piece of chicken, even though I was there already. And I've been out in the Dakotas before where it's just like snowing like a son of a bitch. It gets to a point where there's so much snow that you just can't go through it. It's squashing between the frame and the road. You just can't do it anymore. Like a foot of snow, 18 inches, stuff like that. And then you're just going to get stuck there if you don't get the hell off. Yeah. I was on a list up in Michigan, the sheriff's department, to like do winter rescues because, I was prepared. I had the right equipment. I wasn't going to get cold. I wasn't dehydrated. You know, like lost snowmobilers and stuff that ran out of gas. That wasn't that big a deal. But like out in Montana or Wyoming, you know, where you walk 20 miles in the wrong way and you're fucked. Yeah, it's good fried chicken too. It's not because I really want it, but it's like there's all there is. It's decent. It's good fried chicken, but I'm getting sick of it. Why, San Francisco, there's a town that's going to hell. Who'd ever thought you'd be living in $1 million, 800 square foot condo and someone's crapping out inside on your sidewalk every morning? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get a piece of chicken, even though I don't really feel like it. I think I'll leave Daisy here too. Maybe I won't leave her here. She doesn't like being left alone. No, we're leaving here a little bit. You want to go bye-bye? You want to stay here? You want to go bye-bye or stay here? You're going to get left alone if you don't go with Daddy. You want to go bye-byes? Walkie bye-byes? Okay, let's go walkie bye-bye. Come on. We're going walkie bye-bye. See, she wants to make sure I'm going away in the truck, and if I'm not, she'd rather stay. This is what this means. Do you want to go walkie bye-bye? Let's go walkie bye-bye. I'm going bye-byes. Now she knows I'm going for sure, so she's coming. Go on, jump. Jump, go on. You can do it. What, are you getting lazy? Don't push that butt up. She doesn't want to jump. Go ahead, get over there. Go on. Go on. Good girl. I don't feel like doing this. Can't get this camera to go to where it should. Oh, there it was. She doesn't want to jump. Sometimes she sees the camera down there. I carry a camera all the time. I gotta turn it on super cool, huh? We're gonna kick it, you know what I'm saying? I'll get Mario a piece too. Now this will buffer a little bit, but it'll go away. You know, see right here? That's about, I got a $800 router and a super fast speed, and I'll lose signal right about this far. It's not the power of the router and the quality and the speed you have. That's about all you get on Wi-Fi. It doesn't like go forever. The power isn't relate to distance. You need to do networking or zones. So hang in there when it buffers. We'll be partying. You all come back now, you hear?
and the air conditioner so much cooler.